when the groups are finished and we're left with 16 players just of insane caliber, I'm gonna be pretty scared as to how like that's gonna turn out. Normally I look at a tournament and I'm like, yeah, that guy, they're gonna top 3 or whatever, but it's just impossible.
Yeah.
It's just impossible.
So we now have our game number 1 starting between our third match of the day, where we have at the top corner, spawning from Team TSL in the red trunks, it is Symbol.
And spawning down in the bottom left-hand corner, giving an ode to Mr. Total Biscuit with his blue trunks. And we do indeed have Liquid HerO.
Why are there not more odes to Total Biscuit, I ask you? So I just go ahead and substitute them myself. HerO now, just doing the ever so standard early expand. Nothing too wrong with that. Early expands are always going to be a reasonable way to open, but especially on this map, there are a number of Baneling and Roach all-ins that can be pretty annoying just due to the fact that the front entrance is so huge. It requires 3 buildings to wall off, and oftentimes the pylon is part of that as well.
Yeah, it's a nice little wall off to go for HerO here, and he's practiced it millions and millions of times. Maybe a slight exaggeration, but he's practiced it a lot. So for now, Symbol...
millions and millions, why not?
Oh, okay, we'll stick with millions and millions then. But Symbol, meanwhile, is probably just going to go for that spawning pool into the hatchery, and, I mean, there's very, very few deviations that you end up seeing from a Zerg early on in this matchup, so...
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to do any deviations, to be frank. This has been so thoroughly researched and so thoroughly understood from both players' point of views that most people don't even attempt any early aggression. And interestingly enough, now that I've said that, this is why there's been so much experimentation.
Yeah, actually,
you're
right.
have to experiment, but people are starting to do things where they're noticing, hey, everyone's cutting corners here. Well, if you're going to cut that many huge corners, then I'm going to go for some really early aggression. So we're starting to see 4-gate plays after the expand become a little bit more popular again.
Yeah, 100%. And even things like in-base gateway into expansion are things that do come out as well because of that exact fact. You get your warp gate a little bit quicker, and then you hit with something that's insane. We saw Grubby during Intel Extreme Masters Singapore going for 1 gas on 2 base with super, super fast warp gate and 7-gate aggression, which just Zergs nowadays aren't really preparing for anymore because they're used to not having that quick a warp gate out. It's really scary.
I mean, the first round of attacks in this matchup that the Zerg player has to worry about is at the 8-minute mark. That's when Stargate aggression begins to pop out and Void Rays arrive at your base. That's when the Warp Gate can really wrap up. And most people just don't worry about that anymore. They're just like, nah, he's probably gonna take his gases. And if he's not taking his gases, he wants to expand. Symbol already actually being a little bit more aggressive than your average Zerg bear, just trying to poke in there with them Zerglings. But HerO answering by planting the pylon down at the 3rd base. So he's gonna delay that by a pretty good amount of time.
Yeah, it's just getting up his wall, getting everything going here. It's not too bad an idea to start delaying this. It's always quite nice. The longer you end up delaying your opponent's 3rd, the less likely they are to have a good amount of creep spread going from that location. Yeah. So you can... Oh, what? Oh, he's going to go for the 2nd pylon.
Oh my god, that's actually a boss play. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You see all these Zerglings at your side of the map? They're obviously not going to be spending time killing off that 1 probe, so HerO's gotten himself a considerable gain in this circumstance. I mean, his Warp Gate research is really not going to be delayed. He's going to kind of be forced to go for Stalker Warp Gate. Can't really go for something like Sentry play, and even has 2 in gas in his main. That actually feels like a little bit of an error. Hopefully can repair that quickly.
That was pretty impressive by him. Meanwhile, we're adding on more queens here for Symbol. He just wants that 3rd one so he can transition it on down to that natural in just a second. As well as, you know, he might use the energy on that one to get the creep spread going between those locations, which is always quite nice. Oh, but he's already going for it. I don't mind that because, again, if you're playing from the Zerg's point of view here, you don't really have that much money to kind of contribute to 2 rounds of lava inject on 2 queens. So spending that extra energy early on the creep tumor is always quite nice.
Well, oh, excellent snatch up right there by Symbol getting that Stalker. I will say, though, I'm always a little leery about spreading creep after you've been delayed so heavily at your extra base. Because you're kind of thinking to yourself, man, how do I catch up in the drone count, given the fact that I'm already behind because I've lost my third base. So, you know, like going for creep spread, obviously always going to be useful, but do of course have to be careful. And Stargate tech again from HerO, and what we generally see people do in this spot is go for the Phoenix defense.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, the Phoenix offense instead of the Void Ray offense. You don't go for Phoenix defense, James.
No,
that doesn't make any sense.
Not at all. You grab a few overlords maybe here and there, and then from that on, you can actually push across. Whoa, Zergling's trying to get in, not really being able to be too successful there. And the Void Ray is on the way.
Huh. Oh,
wait,
Phoenix is on the way.
What? Wait a minute. Did he? No, he didn't even see the Stargate. I thought maybe he was showing a Void Ray, but he didn't even see the Stargate, so it doesn't matter. What the?
Yeah, that's probably what he was thinking, though. He's going, oh, well, you know what? If you're going to be going for that Stargate play, then, and I see that Void Ray, then I will be building all the spores. So it's pretty easy to build defenses for the Void Ray, but can counteract the defense against the Phoenixes.
Yeah, it's all right to go for. There was a point early on in this game that Simple had like 700 minerals like banking up, and I mean he's now taking his gases. Well, he's taking his gas at his natural and his third here, trying to get those 4 gas gases going at any time. With that layer now already morphed in, the macro hatch on the way with the evolution chambers. But I mean, realistically, Ling Roach aggression in mid game is something I wasn't actually expecting here from Simple, unless it's just to tide him over against early gateway pushes.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the unit count, he's stopping at 61. A lot of people like to just flood with a whole bunch of units just for now. So that way, if a Immortal Sentry starts to come out, then, oh, hey, I already have some units to be able to delay it with. But there's the Phoenixes at the third base.
It's going to plop down, though. I mean, you need... Okay, so the reason I don't like this is because you need 4 Phoenix across the map to pick up a Queen and then kill it off in 1 lift. And he went out with 3, and that's not really the most efficient use of lifts here. So, HerO there, I mean, he's doing some good damage, that's great, but it could have been more efficient, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, the Phoenix play is going to be very strong because it focuses a Zerg's response on anti-air, thereby making the Colossus transition a little stronger, which is what we see HerO doing right away. But HerO still has that question, how do I take the third base? And it looks like Symbol is going to be able to catch the Zergling off guard, and this is actually terrible news for HerO. He didn't kill off that Overlord at his third base with the early Phoenixes, so now there's creep there. And that's one of the critical reasons to do that. The Queen's still falling. Symbol, though, looking to be in a good position.
I like that he's killing off all of these Queens. It's going to limit a lot of what his opponent can do in terms of production, but still, he needs his third base up and running, and he needs it going down pretty soon, unless he's... I mean, he can't actually move out right now. There's still those Lings and Roaches being annoying. He can move out now that he has some firepower, but this could have been going on a little bit before.
God, here's actually getting a considerable amount of Queens. Not a lot of units with those force fields at the front, but, I mean, the units lost station, we're seeing that Symbol is still behind. HerO's Phoenixes are doing some good work, and geez, more Phoenixes getting produced. I mean, he's lost a good chunk of them too, but he's relentless with this. I mean, trying to look around, it looks like there's only 1 Queen on the entire field. So look at Symbol's gas. It is through the roof. He can't even spend his money.
I was gonna say there's the really weird serious situation here for Symbol where he just doesn't have the infestation pit down at all. At the 12-minute mark right now, it's just popped out and the pathogen glance is on the way. But if he'd have had this a little bit earlier, it would have been fine. His minerals to gas would have balanced out quite nicely.
Now it looks like HerO's gonna be able to throw in his expansion. Like you say, that 1500 from Symbol is not bad macro. He's just waiting for those pathogen glands to pop out, and
10 infestors. Oh my god.
I think he built them 1 second too early.
Wait a minute.
Oh my god, did he build them 1 second too early?
That would be weird if he did.
Oh, that would be very, very painful. I'm going to look at that very closely. We see the +1 armor upgrade coming. A lot of Zerglings, +1 Zergling attack. This attack looks like it's geared up to attack that third base. Oh my god.
I think you're right, Sean. I think you're right. I think he did. He did.
Oh my god. Oh no. Oh.
That's not too useful at all. Ouch.
this attack is going to be so much weaker. That's 10 less infested Terrans total. That's 0 fungal growths at this point. And now it looks like HerO's actually going to make the attack. There's no fungals. Look, Symbol's walking up, and there's absolutely no way to fungal any of these units. Is this going to lose him the game right here?
That could actually be devastating. He's got a lot of force fields here as well, a lot of firepower in turn. He throws down force fields. Now all the infestors have fungal, but it's too late. This location has been breached, and his 4th base is going to be completely ransacked.
Holy crap. I don't know how else to put it. That could have been easily denied by having the fungal growth available. 1-2 fungals right there on that ridge would have prevented this huge push from coming in. And, I mean, Liquid HerO now is getting the opportunity to just storm in straight to the 3rd base, and with just 2 Colossi, he's up against a largely Zergling Infestor-heavy force. Infestors get lifted, excellent force fields zoning everything. Handful of Roaches able to engage in the fight, but the majority cannot. More infested Terrans get lobbed out, and those Infestors, amazingly, are fresh out of energy. Symbol just does not have the ability to reinforce. This blink is nearing completion, +2's not even done. We have yet another unusual timing push from Liquid HerO. Would have been a pretty even fight, but Symbol just gets rolled because he accidentally gets the 10 Infestors out seconds too early.
You're so right. It's such a sharp eye there, Sean, I've got to say. As for now, I mean, even if HerO does end up getting pushed back here, he's gained himself so much ground. It's 3 base to 3 base. Roaches and Lynx are on the way to try and shut this down. They're going to close the gap with those Colossus pretty quickly, but the Colossi micro back nicely here with a 3rd one on the way as well. There's so much DPS, but nothing from these Infestors. And right now, HerO is putting on massive aggression.
And HerO's just sitting here, calmly waiting. Symbol is leery of trying to waltz down this outside edge and swing in from behind. HerO's just morphing in more and more Stalkers, and when an additional Colossus joins it, HerO may very well just push in for a potential finishing kill.
I cannot believe this has actually happened. I'm like in shock right now. Just the way in which this has actually played out. Poor Symbol there. If he'd have just waited 2 seconds later, this would have been so easy to defend against. But right now, he's putting on this pressure. HerO has found this location, and he's not losing Colossus. There's 8 Corruptors on the way, but it's 4 Colossi right now, putting on all of this pressure, and all of these Roaches are going to disintegrate very quickly. And not only that, but some of these Corruptors are popping right next to these Blink Stalkers.
Oh gosh, every single unit, all the larva that is at this 3rd base is going to be murdered the instant it pops out. HerO's calmly waltzing his way up to the front. And I mean, Symbol is doomed at this point. There's almost nothing he can do. Only one of the Corruptors manages to survive at that additional base. Blink Stalkers do the retreat. The Colossus will not quite be able to escape, but there's still plenty of Stalkers and Colossus at the backside to deal additional damage. And GG.
Sean, ladies and gentlemen out there, this shows the importance of timing out your upgrades.
Right?
Because it can kind of be a bad situation if you don't.